voters was
The
for
voter,
sure.
and I'm assuming that too, is if you open it for early voting at all, has to be 2 weeks at that same location.
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
12-hour
We'll
days.
include the 2 week
Fairfield Chief.
for Fairfield and Teague, approving that. Just-
Early voting's not 12 hours, is it?
All right.
It's from 8 to 5 every day,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
second.
not 12
Well,
hours.
but,
Craig,
yeah, Fairfield and then
Don't mean he done
day
that.
of is 12.
Lloyd, okay, Craig and
No, Lloyd and Craig.
Lloyd made it? Lloyd.
Danny and Clyde voted for it.
1, 2, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, then item number 19 is to discuss ARPA funding. I believe the fire departments have some information they want to give.
Nick Carey, this is gonna look at me.
I didn't know if anyone wanted to talk a little bit about that.
It's a consolidation pretty much from each fire department.
Yeah, so we had them turn in all their proposals to the fire association, so that there was only one representative for all 9 departments. So that way you didn't have 9 or 10 different people trying to tell you what they wanted. So, the red folders and stuff there, I've got, all that's turned in, that's Southern Oaks, Bartham, Tig, Fairfield, Butler,
Great.
and Streetman's proposals.
Well, no.
Yeah. I don't have a sheet like that. I'm gonna
In each folder, there's
Oh, it's in that spot.
some loose inserts. I read these if you want to.
Maybe I'm not.
They're gonna be in that red folder.
I have the red folders, I just don't have a little consolidated sheet.
There's not one consolidated.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
These are
reading.
individual.
Yes, okay, all right. Y'all want to talk about any of that for us?
I haven't looked over them to know what everybody's asked.
All right,
Yeah, it's different from everybody what I read. I did get a call from Kirk Croft over at Butler. One of the things I was looking at was generators in different communities for emergency purposes, not just a freeze, but maybe a tornado or whatever. But Butler, this is just something to keep in mind. I guess the Butler Water gave the fire department a big 3-phase generator, older generator, really big. And they looked in at one time about having that hooked up, but they would have to do a step down to get it back to 220. So it was going to be about $20,000 just to make that work. But their quote, and he had told me about, was $10,200 for a 20 kW Cummins engine propane generator that would service a 200 amp meter box. And he said that they have propane there now, and they have propane heaters in their building. But when electricity goes off, they can't use them because of the CO2 emergency shut-off valve won't work without electricity. Right, the fan won't kick it. But that's really the only fire department that I've talked to that explained that. But I am a proponent of having generators placed throughout the county fire stations and other places that people can seek shelter if they need it.
Most of the fire departments are requesting assistance with medical equipment or apparatus, SCBA's, so air packs, breathing air. You can use that obviously for structure fires, car fires, grass fires, medicals if it deems necessary. Life-saving equipment, I think there's a couple of generators on there. And a lot of the fire departments that I've talked to have been trying to acquire a lot of this stuff on grants for the last several years. I know specifically for TIG, we've been trying for 9 years with no help through FEMA, or no award through FEMA. And so I think most of the fire departments took a very humble approach to the request. You know, they're asking for things that we can't afford on our own. And the the summary of all 7 fire departments. 2 of the fire departments chose not to participate or not to request anything. But the 7 fire department totals were $447,000.
And something like what Ted was requesting, the equipment y'all are currently using on your SCBA is very, very old right now.
Oh yeah, they're 18 years old and it's.
They only have a 20-year lifespan on them. They have to be tested, depending on the style bottle, they have to be tested every 3 to 5 years. And they only have a 20-year lifespan. So most of everybody is coming up on that lifespan of those, and for 6 of them, it's $50,000 just to replace them. So it's a pretty pricey, piece of equipment to replace.
It just has to be replaced regardless, because when they're expired, they're expired.
Yes, sir.
Kind of like you, I got a call from Streetland, and they were needing some things like that they were outdated, and so they were needing basically the same thing y'all are talking about everybody else needs. And one other thing, I talked to some people in Wortham, and like Lloyd said, a good place maybe to get a generator would be to maybe put it at we have a big activity center at the Baptist church. It is for everybody, that's for the whole community. It's a big building, and they're doing some work there, and so that maybe a generator there would help. And they were very generous last year whenever we had a big storm, and they offered us assistance if people could come there, along with several other places and more.
Baptist church for that?
Sorry,
At the church, you talking about here in Fairfield?
Worth
Dorton.
And I think probably if we do, go to some of those places, we'll just have to do an agreement with them in order to, yeah, we can do that. And we did get something from Donnie, asking for assistance. We didn't have anything specifically, said they were going to be required to make a large investment in an emergency generator, and they would like some assistance with that.
Yeah, several departments want that, didn't they?
I think Tick's the only fire department that has their own generator, is that right?
Working
Well,
on
it's
it.
been that way
We don't.
last year.
Don't you have a little one?
No.
We have a little small, portable generator.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what he was telling me. 'Cause I asked
We
him,
used that last year to keep the heater going. We
Does it
did
take-
some.
it worked.
Oh, but Tig has a generator?
It's 17 years old, but we have one. But
Yeah.
there is another grant out there through TDM, very similar to the disaster relief grant that occurred right after the freeze last year. It's about to open up, and it's DR 4485, I believe. And so that there will be an opportunity for generators there. So I think we're going to approach that and try to acquire a new generator on that.
Oh, y'all rented that one last year during the storm, didn't you, that great big one?
Yeah, well, that's the only thing in town that had power was our fire station.
You know, what, did y'all rent that generator for
No,
something?
sir, no, sir. We've had that generator since we built that fire station.
Okay.
All right. We have a request from the sheriff's department for, to purchase and equip the dispatchers with telephone/radio wireless headsets. And that would fit under the COVID request, because right now, I think they share them. And so, it's for $2,767.20, that each would have their own, and that would help with the COVID situation in the sheriff's department. So that's a request also. All right, well, the next meeting, we will have that on, and we'll look through all these consolidated and make a budget. And then we can make some decisions, because next week we have another meeting with Networks, hopefully with some more insight from them. And we'll try to firm that up with them to be sure everything will fit under that grant. So if there's anybody or anything else, we'll need that information. All right.
Diane, you get your heaters fixed?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, they turned the air conditioning on yesterday. So.
Did they get the trees trimmed?
Yes, he did a really good job, and he followed up with me this morning, so that's all I'm taking care of.
Ed Grounds got the bid on it. We got multiple bids on that, just to see. Judge Green had called, really
Yes, he did.
Good. Took us up in their chili supper
February
this,
fourth,
Friday.
this Friday.
Friday,
Mhm.
You know,
And Carla just having theirs on the
If
19th.
they can get there.
Yeah.
You have to go play?
Yes, sir.
Are we ready to try to get those trailers yet? No.
no. You know, we've had several wrecks that have been with the zoning the other day, and the fire departments were unbelievable how much help we were. Wanted to, so had a bunch of,
All right. Anything
What
else?
about the tires? The big mound of tires at the dump, what are we gonna do? Has anybody decided what we're
We're
gonna
gonna
do?
let the weather get good, and we're gonna double check with sheriff if we can get the convicts and inmates.
And they-
He just got out the other day.
you were in the crowd when you said,
Because he just got out. Anyway, we're gonna look at the weather and the availability of help, and then we'll line it up to load the truck.
The trailers, maybe we can get more than just the two. We'll request from her. If not, then we'll have a discussion about it. All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
I think I have a motion.
A second.
All in favor, aye? We're adjourned.